I don't know about y'all, but this week has been extra long. So I'm excited for Friday and excited for the weekend, and I hope that you guys have been enjoying the activities that we've been doing. I know it's been awesome to see so many of y'all on Zoom. So keep showing up because we're going to just keep busting out really fun things. So keep coming to see what are the things we're going to do. Today's book is called Be the Change. And it's a grandfather Gandhi story. So if you don't know who Gandhi is, I challenge you to look him up. He did amazing things for his country, and he saw that things in his country were not going well, and so instead of fighting with violence, he did it very peacefully. And so we're going to see that. And so this is written by Arun Gandhi and Bethany Hedgens, and it's illustrated by Evan Turk. And so this little guy is actually a grandson of Gandhi. All right, so this is Be the Change. Oh no, my jackets cause me issues. Every day, guys, every day. Love jackets, but they're not good for reading. The world knows him as Mahatma, great soul. To me, he is grandfather. Life at the Savargram Ashram, grandfather's service village, revolved around the sun. Before daybreak, we left our beds. All 350 followers gathered for the morning prayer meeting. Peace descended on us like the rays of the sun. All religions were welcomed. The purpose of ashram life was to live simply and non-violently. Each day was filled with from sunrise to sunset with service. The ashram worked as one, washing clothes, planting vegetables, picking fruit, spinning yarn. Anything that needed doing was done for the good of all. Grandfather had dubbed our work Experiments in Truth. There were 11 vows of ashram living. The one I found the hardest was the vow not to waste. And it was an important one, a cornerstone of grandfather's teaching. I wasn't sure how not wasting food or the other items made life nonviolent, but I did my best to follow the path put before me. Bapuji said I would understand in time, but I'd already lived at Savargram for more than a year. So one of the rules where he lived was you couldn't waste things. And he's like, I don't know why. I don't see why that's important. If I don't want to eat this whole bag of chips, I'm just going to throw it away. Like, come on. Soon, grandfather asked that I accompany him to Pune. I was happy to get a break from ashram life, waking up early and working hard. But at the Nature Cure Clinic, our routine was much the same. The same vows, the same self-discipline. When grandfather talked, thousands came. Overflowing the gardens, people young and old spilled into the streets. People, see, this is all people coming to just see Gandhi talk. I stood with them and listened as he spoke about satyagraha, passive nonviolence. When nonviolence is accepted as the law of life, it must pervade the whole being and not be applied to isolated acts, Bapuji said. How was I to understand that? It hurt my head to even think about it. Yet when grandfather spoke, something in me stilled, even if afterwards my thoughts grew cloudy. So he's speaking and saying, we need to live in a non-violent way, so no fighting. One afternoon, on my way home from lessons, I've had enough. I tossed my nubby pencil in the air, tired of my vow not to waste, tired of not understanding. It bounced into the grass. I left it there on purpose. So he's not supposed to waste anything, and he just threw away a pencil that still had some lead in it. That evening, I asked Bupanchi for a new pencil. This morning, you had what appeared to be a perfectly good pencil, Grandfather said. It was too small. I threw it away, I argued. I didn't share what I was really thinking. I was a Gandhi. Didn't I deserve a new pencil? It was not too small this morning, Grandfather smiled his toothless grin. And what of your vow? The one not to waste? I stared at my sandaled feet. A vow is a promise to yourself before it is a one to others. Why is a nubby pencil so important? It is not the pencil, but you that is important. Bapuji patted my shoulder. Bapuji was talking in riddles. Why wasn't there a simple explanation? He walked me to the door. You will have to go and look for it. Would I really have to search for a nub of a pencil? But it's after dusk. Good thinking, Arun. You will need a torch. He handed me a flashlight and pointed me towards the night. Grandfather's making him go get the pencil. How would you be feeling if somebody made you go look for a pencil in the middle of the night? I set off into the dark. My face burned with shame. Grandfather had already taught me so much, and here I had more to learn. I was a disappointment. To him, to myself. I retraced my steps, past the bench with the broken leg, past a pack of stray dogs. I stopped when I came to the scrubby grass that I'd cut only hours earlier. Kneeling, I ran my fingers through the coarse stalks. Nothing. Above, the stars seemed to mock me. Find it, they twinkled, taunting. Finally, after hours of searching, I found it. I stuffed the pencil in my pocket and trudged back to Grandfather's cottage. You had to go through all that grass trying to find the pencil. Remember, it's just a little nub of a pencil. Did you recover the pencil? Bapuji asked when I returned. I had, but I still hadn't discovered what waste and nonviolence had to do with each other, or what they had to do with me. That night I wrestled with my thoughts. How could throwing away a pencil hurt anyone? It made no sense. Why couldn't I understand? I think Grandfather's trying to teach a bigger lesson than just a pencil. We returned to Savagram. Then Grandfather set out to teach me the deeper meaning of the rule not to waste, just as monsoon season had come. So monsoon season is when it rains and rains and rains and rains for months. The skies erupted. For days on end, the rain beat the dry, cracked ground. The earth became messy and muddy, and I struggled with how waste and nonviolence were connected. So every day, he's still trying to think about this. What does waste and not being violent have to do with each other? Grandfather sat with me for an hour a day, as busy as he was. Waste is a violent action. When resources are low, people hoard. Those who are forced to do without may eventually strike out. Fighting occurs, he said. Did you want any of that when you threw away your pencil? I didn't. Is that why we spun? Is that why we made our own cloth? What he's saying, if people run out of things, they start to freak out. And then if people freaking out, we have some fighting that might occur. Grandfather suggested I make a tree of violence, with violence as the trunk and physical violence as passive violence. The kind that looks like it hurts, like it hurts no one, as the branches. Before you act, think about how it will affect others, he said. Who would it hurt? You? Someone else? The earth? Does hurting the earth hurt us? Together we created a tree and pasted it on the wall. Each day I added to my thoughts and actions. Look at his tree. Just keeps thinking and thinking. Grandfather would come by my hut and he'd watch my tree grow. When I wasn't sure where to place something, he helped me decide if the thought or action was passive violence or physical violence. So passive means you're not really thinking about it. Physical means you're actually acting on it. As the monsoon rain renewed the earth, my tree grew and grew. Both branches were heavy with leaves, but the passive side became enormous. So these are the things that he's not really thinking about. He's wasting sugar, he's taking someone's things, he's not sharing, he's yelling, he's lying, he's teasing, he's not recycling, he's gossiping. So these are all passive. It doesn't seem like anybody's really getting hurt. And then physical violence, kicking, that's physical. But as he's noticing, he actually is causing violence, but he doesn't even know it. Soon, I could see how throwing away my pencil could hurt others. More graphite, so that's like lead, would need to be mined for a new pencil. Trees would be cut down. Land would be stripped bare. Villages would be lost. Were my wants, like the one for a new pencil, more important than the needs of others? I saw how kicking and shoving led to rioting. I saw how violence led to more violence, how wars led to more wars. Like the soaking rain that turned the musty earth lush and green, new growth finally sprouted in me. I was responsible for my every thought and action. Yes, but I was also responsible for the thoughts and actions of the world. To change the world, I needed to change myself. As the rain trickled to an end and the sun returned, Grandfather took my hand. We walked amid the bustle of ashram. New planting, chores, prayers, work. So he's learned something new, but life's still the same around him. Grandfather had a saying. He had said it to many, and now he said it to me. Be the change you wish to see in the world, Aaron. And with Grandfather as an example of being the change for himself and others, I would. In the back of the book, it has a pledge. And so you want to be the change, then you can make this little promise. And it says, I pledge to dig deep to understand passive violence, to find the roots of my thoughts and actions. I pledge to not overuse resources, to focus on my needs over my wants. I pledge to learn to work with others as one for the good of all. I pledge to be the change I wish to see in the world. I think this book has a great message for us today. We're not really allowed to leave our homes unless it's for an emergency right now. And so it's got me really thinking, what are the things I really need? Yes, there's a lot of things I want, but what are the things I really need? And I'm noticing I don't really need as much stuff as I thought. Most of the things that I would be buying or doing were all wants. So think about the things you already have at your home and ask yourself, do I really need more? Or do I just want more? Because right now we all have to make some sacrifices, and it all starts with you, okay? Because you have that power and you can be the change that you wish to see in the world. If you want people to be nicer to each other, then you got to start being nice too. If you want people to be treated fairly, then you got to start treat people fairly, okay? Change starts with you, and it may not seem like a lot, but it is a lot. It all adds up. I love you all, I miss you all, and I will see you at 2:30 for our afternoon Zoom session. See you then.